This segment of Thoroughbreds Argo brought to you by Barrastock, trusted by Australia's leading equestrians and backed by Kentucky Equine Research. Horses come first.
You're a foal. If you could talk to the foal and say, look, if you try really, really hard and you run really, really fast and you listen to what the trainers say, this is where you can end up. Tour de Horse came to Coolmore today. The courage that these guys have is phenomenal. I'm really proud of the work that you do. It's just an honour to have you all here today. And I just think that it's such an amazing charity to do what they do.
So I was burnt in a car fire at the age of 3. Spent 3.5 months in the Royal Children's Hospital, and I found the Kids Foundation at the age of 10. Prior to that, I felt very shy and alone in the world, but coming to my very first camp, it was a breath of fresh air for me.
It shows how the horse can help a charity like this with the Kids Foundation, but it also shows how the Kids Foundation can help the thoroughbred industry, the show jumping industry, and at the end of the day, it comes back to the connection between the horse and families, kids, and I think it's helped you guys a lot.
So good to have the equestrian community and the racehorse community get around this and get around Tour de Horse and be part of this magnificent foundation which has done so much for so many lives. And it's to just be around the horses and be around the majestic creatures. It's just so good and so grounding to be around.
Thank you for letting me pet the horse. I like the brown horses, but I'd prefer if they were black.
A huge admiration for everybody that's ridden in the Tour de Horse this week. It's been a long week for you guys riding. The amount of time and effort that's gone into making the Tour de Horse as big as it is today, I'm blown away by how big it is, the generosity that people are behind it, the smiles on people's faces. But this is a charity that means a lot to me, a lot to my family, and a lot to the people at Coolmore, and has made a huge impact around the Hunter Valley this week. I was at the Scone Awards last night. Everybody's talking about the job that you guys have done. And yeah, massively proud of you all, and we're delighted to have everybody here today.
So the fundraising from Tour de Horse and all the donations go towards running all of the remarkable programs that the Kids Foundation have, so such as the injury recovery, our camps and the things that we run, and our prevention side, so our programs that we run inside preschools.
Hopefully this has touched people around the world as much as it means to everybody at Coolmore. We're going to put a link to donations for this charity, and it'd really mean a lot to Matt, to me, to the whole Tour de Horse family, to the Kids Foundation. You know, give something small, give whatever you can, because they're changing our lives. You know, the horses, there's thoroughbreds being used this week. This is a thing that's going to grow every year, and if people can just give what you can, it'd mean a lot to everybody.
Thank you for Coolmore for having us.
The 2026 Tour de Horse featured a great field of elite racing, breeding, media and equestrian riders on thoroughbreds throughout Beltrees in the Hunter Valley of New South Wales, raising money for the Kids Foundation and some outstanding young people. This year, Amanda Ross, an Olympian herself, added some great expertise to the cause. Amanda, it's fantastic to see you here. Your first visit to Coolmore, Australia, here in the Hunter Valley, of course based in Victoria. We're here with all the kids from Tour de Horse and a lot of the riders as well. We see Sophie from Michael Friedman's stable and Sam Friedman's here and so many others as well. Tell us how you found this year's Tour de Horse.
This year's Tour de Horse is amazing. I rode last year and I only rode the first 4 days, so this year I just had to come back and do the whole thing.
What is it that makes it so special? We're obviously seeing, incredible money being raised for the Kids Foundation, but it's also about riding these ex-race horses, and some of them haven't even raced, the thoroughbreds. How have you found getting back on these thoroughbreds, that it gives them something to do, doesn't it?
Yeah, it definitely does. So I think there's a few aspects that go into what makes the Tour de Horse really special. And firstly, that you're riding for such a wonderful cause, and it's not just the cause itself, but it's the involvement with the kids that we get during the week. So I've also been paired with Ava, and she has siblings who have SMA. So to connect with her and to understand how her life revolves and what kids has done for her is very special. Then you move on to the horse aspect. So for me, horses have been my life, and I probably feel more comfortable on a horse than walking. Getting to ride through this incredible Hunter Valley scenery, it's quite emotional. And then you combine that with people who are absolutely fantastic. They're all part of the horse community in some way, and racing's obviously given back a lot using the off-the-track thoroughbreds. You get great conversation, you get incredible scenery, and also to every day know that you're riding for such a wonderful cause. It's super special. The horse I'm riding, she's one of Alec White's polo ponies. She was an off-the-track thoroughbred, or she is. She's by Epaulette. Her name is Bohemia. She's quite tall, she'd be 16 hands, but her endurance is amazing. She's quite sassy, she knows who she likes and who she doesn't, and she has put in 100% the entire ride of all those 3 days, up and down some seriously steep hills, and I feel very privileged to have her as my ride.
These thoroughbreds, they can adapt so quickly, can't they? From just wandering around a paddock, not doing much at all, huge paddocks out there at Beltrees, but then all of a sudden they're under saddle again. They don't take a lot to get going again, because that's been their life, hasn't it? They spell, they come back in, they spell, they come back in.
Yeah, I find they're always great with a routine. Give them a job, give them a routine, and whatever their sort of specialty lies in after racing. Like this little mare, she's incredibly sure-footed. She's got a lovely light mouth. She's really balanced. She's very easy to ride, and she's sensible, even though she's a bit sassy. But that keeps her safe as well.
And then, of course, here at Coolmore, we're looking at these incredible stallions, Group 1 winning stallions such as Shinzo, Switzerland, Private Life, Home Affairs. It's so exciting, I think, to see. We're lucky we get to see this a lot in the thoroughbred breeding world, but seeing the faces of particularly the kids here with these magnificent stallions, how did you find today?
Well, I mean, obviously beautiful, beautiful horses. And then at the end when the kids are asking questions like, how do you get their feet so shiny and why are they all brown? But then to see the kids walking up and being able to have a little pat, and the stallions, they're just beautiful. They're just lovely with the kids, so yeah.
And you, obviously, as an Australian Olympian, an elite rider, last time we filmed you was with Cascadian, of course, a wonderful Group 1 winner, of course, that raced with Godolphin and the Darley team. We so often show these horses that are going on, succeeding under saddle, but sometimes some of them, they need a different pathway.
Yeah. Look, Cass came to me as a life after racing, and we put in over 12 months worth of time into him, and I was very particular about taking it slowly and making sure that he had everything he needed to transition. And Cass is the most beautiful soul. Like, he seriously has me, absolutely his. I love him. Realistically, Cass doesn't know anyone anything. He's been such a successful racehorse, but he just had this innate spook and shoot. And we gave him every opportunity. And then in the end, Godolphin agreed that he didn't need to be doing that if it wasn't something that he found easy. But what he has found easy is he is the most delightful character in the paddock. I could have invited him into my living room for a gin and tonic every night, and he is looking to become a Godolphin nanny. So I keep in contact with James Manning at Northwood, and he looks, Cass looks amazing. So it's actually a beautiful thing to see that he has found his home and his job there.
We did film you in the past with a beautiful grey son of Frankel, and unfortunately he injured himself, but you're still caring for him. These are the stories that when something goes wrong, so many people such as yourself still put the time in and care for these horses.
Look, it is really important, and I'll sort of explain to you why. I have a B&C mare who races Gothic Medusa, and she was reserved for the Australian team for the 2018 World Championships for eventing. She was shortlisted for Tokyo. When I stand in the start box of cross country and face all of those big massive cross country fences, and she gets me home safely, that is what she gets in her retirement from me. So Romeo, the Frankel gelding, he injured himself, but I chose him to do a job that he loved, and it was unfortunate that he was injured. And so he and Searcy, the Bianconi mare, happily, cavorting around the paddock together, and that's what they'll have for the rest of their lives.
And then currently, again, you're riding another off-track thoroughbred. Tell us about this one.
Yeah, so Hank, we call him. He's Valkian by Vancouver out of a One More No More mare. Only 5 starts with Carolyn Jennings. He was based at Flemington. He is one of the most outstanding competition horses, thoroughbred or not, that I've had. In the last 12 months, he's won Racing Victoria novice level dressage championships. He won at Equimillions. So I feel very fortunate that he's come into my life.
And then just getting back to Tour de Horse, it's kind of a win-win, isn't it? Everyone's sort of giving a bit of themselves and everybody's appreciating it.
We just have such a wonderful experience that to be part of that, it's really truly life-changing.